Good afternoon. My name is Jan Mehmet. I'm the programme leader for the part-time course for the MSc in Human Resource Management. I'd also like to welcome you in several languages, so Hoş geldiniz, welcome, bienvenue and ni hao to any of our international potential students. I'd like to start off by discussing why HR is important. If you open the newspapers any day or open your tablet or your smartphone and look at the news, there's always something that is human resource management related, whether it's articles or employment tribunals about things such as the gig economy, 0 hours contracts, the impact of globalization, Generation Web and artificial intelligence on the workforce now and in the future, concepts such as the learning organisation, which organisations need to embrace if they are going to survive into the 21st century, talent management and development, which we hear a lot about, how to develop people of all ages, to do well at their jobs and to ensure that we've got the skills and knowledge that we need for the future. This also brings in a hot topic in the UK at the moment, the role of apprenticeships, and also, very important, leadership development. Because leaders can be at all levels in the organisation, but they have a very powerful effect in terms of motivating and developing people and organisations. Health and safety at work, which isn't just the regulations, but it encompasses from a HR point of view, stress management, well-being at work, mental health. Again, these are all very current issues. Equality and diversity. And again, there are articles recently about issues such as the gender pay gap or about black and minority ethnic staff not progressing as they should do in organisations. And last but not least, reward management, which is going to become more at the forefront as we move into the 21st century and organisations look at different ways of rewarding their staff. So I've done a thought cloud here about the future of work and the role of HR, and some of those topics are there, but you've also got things like agile working, the ageing workforce, resilience, transformational leadership and knowledge transfer, and key writers that we study on the MSc in HRM programme. But as you can see, HRM and HRD, which is Human Resource Development, are key to people and organisations now and in the future, and it's definitely an area where you won't be short of a job to do. So, some questions. What are our USPs, which is unique selling point of our two Masters in HRM programmes? Both the full-time and the part-time programme are accredited by the leading organisation for people management and development, which is called the CIPD and stands for the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development. All students passing the Masters programme automatically get free membership for 1 year of the CIPD at associate level. And also to people who successfully pass either programme, that we have an offer of a free membership upgrade within 12 months of passing the Masters, subject to meeting the CIPD's requirements for work experience. Lincoln International Business School is the home of the Lincolnshire branch of the CIPD. So this means that you will have an opportunity to be involved with the local branch, maybe even take up a committee post or be a volunteer. And of course, it means you will have easy access to any of the events or conferences that we hold as a Lincolnshire branch of CIPD. Great to put on your CV, but even better for networking and building up your knowledge and experience in the HR field. Both programmes have guest speakers from the profession, and we've had senior HR practitioners from Marks and Spencer's, from Barclays Bank, from the GMB Trade Union, and also from local councils. So we get people with both local and international experience who come along to talk to our students about topical issues in human resource management. We have a really good teaching team at Lincoln at the moment, and the team are strong on both research and practitioner-based experience, which adds a lot to the programme and means that you're being taught by people who are at the cutting edge of what is going on in HRM and HRD. Lincoln is a beautiful place to study. For those of you who haven't been here, it's a really historic city. The university is growing. There's lots to do here, lovely restaurants, great arts and culture and music. And the University of Lincoln is moving up the league tables fast, and we achieved the TEF Teaching Excellence Framework gold standard last year. So we're not only recognised by our students, but we are recognised nationally for the quality of the teaching and the learning that we provide here. So who is the MSc HRM for? Who is it aimed at? The full-time students are often continuing their studies after doing a first degree at university, either in the UK or abroad. Mature students and people who want to change career. So sometimes we had a student a couple of years ago who had a PhD in biochemistry and had a successful career in that field, but then wanted to change and learn about people management. Part-time students usually are practitioners who are already working in HR-related roles. So they could be a HR assistant, a HR officer, a business partner, or they could have a specialist role in HR, such as reward manager or diversity manager or head of learning and development. We also have people joining the programme who are directors of companies, directors of HRM and heads of service, either organisational development, HRM, HRD, etc. And we seem to attract a fair few trade union officials from some of the major UK trade unions who obviously think that our course is worth studying. So how can you get on the MSc HRM programmes? Well, for the full-time programme, which takes 1 year, the entry requirement is an honours degree, and international students will require English language at IELTS level 6 with no less than 5.5 in each element. For the part-time programme, which takes 3 years, there are various entry requirements and entry points. So if you haven't got a first degree, don't be discouraged. Please apply, because we look at each application individually and look at your experience and your prior learning. And it may well be that both of those will fit you for a place on the Masters in HRM on the part-time programme. We also offer entry in years 2 and years 3, depending upon the studying qualifications and experience that you've already undertaken before. There are about 7 different entry routes, so as programme leader for the part-time course, it's part of my job to assess applications and to accredit prior learning. But we definitely want to encourage return to learning, mature students, people who've had children or caring responsibilities and may have missed out on those opportunities earlier in their life. It's one of the courses and one of the professions where being older is an advantage, because the more life experience you've got, the better a HR professional you can be. So what will you be studying? Well, these are just some of the modules currently on offer on this programme, both full and part-time. So there's a list of the modules here. Leading, managing and developing people, which covers all the basics in HR. Developing skills for business leadership. This is about how you will develop yourself as a HR practitioner in terms of your leadership and management capability. And we have some innovative assessment works, and it also involves both the full-time and the part-time students, each going as a group on a residential, which is held for 2 days, and where you get an opportunity to really work on this module, to build up good relations with your peers in the group and good relationships with the lecturers. HRM in a global context looks at the economy and also international HRM. Resourcing and talent management looks very much at recruitment and retention and how you would promote and retain talented staff. HR strategy is for those people who aspire to higher positions in the HR profession. You'll learn all about how to write a strategy and, even more importantly, how to implement one effectively when you get in a higher position in HRM or HRD. Learning and talent development, again, very topical, looking at who defines talent, what is it in the workplace, having an inclusive talent management and development strategy, and valuing individuals, and also debates about high flyers and developing people who may be seen as high performers. Then there are a range of modules which are options, so students would normally just choose one of these. So we've got coaching and mentoring, which includes the theory but also the practical skills of how to coach and mentor people in the workplace. Performance management, with the latest ideas on how to achieve that effectively. Managing employment relations, which is very, very popular and involves how HR practitioners can work with the trade unions to make a better workplace. And then comparative HRM, which looks at HR in different countries around the globe and is taught by a colleague who has actually researched HR practices internationally. Leadership and management development currently is available only on the part-time programme, and it teaches HR practitioners how the theories again about leadership and about management, whether they are separate or whether they are similar, but it also looks at various activities and tools that you can use within an organisation to develop leaders and managers. And then last but not least, research methods, which will equip you to undertake your own research and to write your final masterpiece, which will be your dissertation for the full-time or the part-time MSc in HRM. So these are just some of the ways in which you will be taught. It won't just be lectures and seminars, which I've put at the top. There will be residentials. There's a residential for the full-time students and the part-time students for developing skills for business leadership. There's also a residential in year 2 of the part-time course around leadership development, equipping students with the skills to negotiate both from the management point of view and from the trade union side. There will be what we call formative assignments, which is work that you're asked to undertake but is not actually marked, but it helps your development as a learner. So there are things that we use like the flipped classroom, where the students actually go away and do the research and actually run the class and get feedback from peers and from the lecturer about their performance. We also run events such as the HR Problem Clinic, where students bid to discuss an issue at work, and then we apply the theories learned to it as well. We also have run action learning sets. We ask students to do development portfolios. We also have topical discussions on In the News this week, where we pick out articles that relate to HR. Reflective learning logs, case studies, business reports, essays, research, and finally the dissertation. So as you can see, we use a huge range of teaching and learning methods to help you to give of your best on this course and to help make your learning effective. So some of the student comments that we've had about the programme. Thank you for your feedback about our group workshop. This experience for me is really great and I learned a lot. Thanks for your guidance during my study at the University of Lincoln. I've seen my result and I am happy that I was able to do well and make my people back home proud. The MSc HRM has deeply influenced me, not only on my study, but also on my thinking. You have taught me how to perceive, analyse and solve problems, and your high evaluation of me will encourage me all the time in my life to make greater progress step by step. The MSc HRM programme is brilliant and staff provided much appreciated support. Some examples of where our alumni, that is our former students, of sectors or companies that they work for. Rockstar Lincoln, who test computer games, Mercedes-Benz in Germany, the NHS, national and international recruitment consultancies, particularly in China and Vietnam, Paul Smith, fashion designer in Nottingham, Tesco and Morrison's supermarkets, Bakkavor and Breaks and Beaver Fruit Farms, who are all involved in the food and drinks industry, as well as Branston Potatoes, academies, local government, the civil service, higher education, and some of the major trade unions, Unite the Union, the Communications Workers Union and the University and College Union. International luxury hotel chains, banking and finance companies, and of course, some students go on to undertake a PhD and become researchers and lecturers themselves. So that's the MSc HRM, full-time and part-time. What are you waiting for? Apply now, come and join us and have some of the best times of your life.
We have a couple of questions that have come in. First of all, what benefits does the associate membership of the CIPD bring with it?
Right. The associate membership of CIPD is a recognised professional accreditation, and most employers now ask for CIPD membership when advertising posts in HRM. And it's also recognised internationally because the CIPD have set up offices in Saudi Arabia and in Singapore and Hong Kong. So if you're applying for jobs in international companies or in countries outside the UK, it's still seen as a badge of excellence and shows that the person has met high standards in the HR profession.
Second question, how are the practical elements of the coaching and mentoring module assessed compared to the theoretical aspects?
Right. During the teaching of that module, once students have been given an introduction to coaching and mentoring, they're asked to find someone to coach or mentor, depending upon their level of experience at work. And during the module, they will be coaching or mentoring someone of their choice. and they're asked to complete a reflective learning log about that experience as they go along, and then this is written up and submitted to demonstrate their learning from doing actual coaching or actual mentoring.
And then one final question that we have: how would I study on the part-time human resource management course? How many days a week would I need to attend the university?
Right. Well, the good news is you would only need to attend 1 day a week. In year 1, currently, but the days may change, it's a Monday. In year 2, it's a Tuesday. And in year 3, it's a Wednesday, but only for the first term, and you come in just for half a day. And then in that third year, from January to September onwards, you will be working on your dissertation, and you come in for pre-arranged meetings with your supervisor. And also currently the teaching times are between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m.
So that's all the questions we have for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.